17. That's the number of children whose voices were silenced last year. 319. That's how many died due to road crashes over the last 10 years. 100%. That's how many the government wants those numbers to be reduced by. Hello and welcome to another in our Road Scholars series. I'm Alison Watson and I'm joined by a few friends to talk with you about ensuring the safety of our children on our roads.
Life in any form is a gift too precious to measure. The birth of brand new possibilities and exciting potential for whatever. For those at the early stages of this journey, it is expected that the ones who are older, those in positions of guardianship, will take the steps necessary to ensure their safety in all areas, not least of all as they travel from one destination to another.
I think every single adult who is a driver has a tremendous responsibility, not only for the safety of children, but the safety of other drivers, pedestrians. Driving comes with a tremendous responsibility, and it's up to you to remain alert, particularly when it comes to children. We are their guardians.
Children are among our most vulnerable road users. It's why the Ministry of Transport and Works, and particularly the Road Safety Unit, has spent time coming up with measures to ensure that the traffic environment for them is as safe as possible.
The law comes down very heavily on the side of children when we act irresponsibly, and as a result they are injured.
Laws like the Road Traffic Act, the Child Care and Protection Act, and the Protective Devices legislation speak to the issue in some way.
I'm just gonna... I want drivers to stop when I am at the pedestrian crossing.
Drivers who ignore the prompting of a traffic warden to stop before reaching the place where children are crossing or seeking to cross, or who put the vehicle in motion before the children have completely crossed the road, commit an offense under the Road Traffic Act.
Did you know that the Road Traffic Act makes it an offense for you to transport a child in your vehicle without the proper restraints? Breaching this law could place you before a resident magistrate facing a fine upon conviction.
Daddy, you remember I don't put on my seatbelt yet?
Oh yes. Sorry about that, I'm kind of distracted here. Ready?
Daddy, want to your seatbelt?
Oh, thanks for reminding me.
A child should never be moving in a moving vehicle. They should be completely still. They should be seated because the car can come to a sudden stop and they will get hurt. If the child is under 5 years of age, then they need to be in their car seat or booster. If the child is a little bigger than a car seat, then there are boosters provided that the children should occupy. You should ensure that the car safe lock is on, that the windows are turned up, or at least even if the windows have to be down, that the children are not exposing their hands, their heads, any parts of their body outside of the car, because that is extremely dangerous. You have to be focused fully on the road, both eyes fully engaged ahead of you. There are times when you might feel sleepy because you're on a long journey. You have not rested well the previous night. There are things that you can do. You make use of rest stops. If you start feeling a little drowsy, you get out of the car, stop the car, get out of the car, and get some fresh air that usually wakes you up. And make sure that you're properly hydrated, and Lucozade can help you to be.
Drivers need to slow down in front of school.
Legislation is being drafted to designate certain areas as school zones, where motorists will be required to cut their speed during specified time frames. That's just one of several measures being tackled to ensure that children are protected as part of the Road Safety Unit's aggressive move to enforce the National Road Safety Policy. The unit also plans to deliver the road safety message to at least 130 primary schools every year, with intentions to roll out the initiative in secondary and tertiary institutions. And there are plans to ensure that road safety is entrenched in the curriculum of secondary schools. The Ministry of Transport and Works is also doing its part to ensure that pedestrian crossings are maintained, sidewalks are provided, and appropriate signs are installed, including at designated school zones.
I think parents really need to ensure that children are trained as to how to cross the road. Invariably, accidents do happen. I mean, it's likely that a child who is learning to ride a bicycle is going to fall at some point, and you want to ensure that you minimize the risk of injuries and severe injuries when they fall. And if a child falls and hits their head, then they're going to be up for major injuries, and it could be fatal. So you certainly want to avoid that risk. They would need to make sure that they have helmets. That is crucial. Knee pads, elbow pads, ensure that there are proper reflectors, lights on the bicycle, that kind of thing. I'm sure that you would want to confine them into an area that is not heavily trafficked.
From 2011 to 2020 has been declared the United Nations Decade of Action for Road Safety. Between 2001 and 2010, Jamaica managed to reduce the number of child fatalities in traffic collisions by 6%. The Road Safety Unit wants more of us to support the effort to eliminate fatal traffic collisions, starting with reducing the number to below 300 in any given year.
How come you disobey road signs and you want children to obey you, the parents?
Listen, the traffic environment can be a scary place, even for us adults. Just imagine what it must be like for your son or daughter, or your neighbor's son or daughter. Pay a little bit more attention as you go about your business on our roads, and ensure that the safety of all our children is your business all the time. I'm Alison Watson, and this has been another in our Road Scholars series, making smart road users of us all.